Greetings and welcome to another episode of Trippy Food. Today we are in San Diego, California, and we are in Old Town, San Diego, California, on the north end of it. Now, Old Town itself is really nice to walk around, the state park. There's a lot of history down there. This was actually one of the first cities in California, and so there's a lot of historic buildings down there from the early 1800s. And as you walk up, you come to the Whaley House, and the Whaley House is famous for being one of the most haunted houses in the United States. And that's up here, but just a little bit north of there, we come here to the Old Town Model Railroad Depot. So there's a huge railroad layout in here. We've got to check it out. Let's go inside. So this place has been here for about 4.5 years, and they've got a total of about 700 feet of track. Collecting all the trains, all the tracks, all the buildings and everything took about 15 years, but it took about 2 months to put together. I can't imagine how much work went into this. Look at the detail on this trestle bridge here. I mean, it had to take hours just to do this one trestle bridge, and you have this whole landscape here. They spared no attention to detail here. They even have a little trailer park. Just this one room is amazing. There's so much activity happening here. There's little lights that go on, signs that move, obviously the trains in here. There's even a cloud burst where there's a plane coming down out of the clouds. So this one is just like really, really spectacular. The thing I love about this is you have the sights, the sounds, and even the smells of real trains, because the trains have smoke coming out of them and they almost have this like diesel smell to them, and it's pretty cool. Now I'm guessing that this town is probably a 1950s town. They have a premiere of an Elvis movie where Elvis is actually in his Cadillac and there's a drive-in going on at the same time.
Yeah.
We're now across town at the San Diego Model Railroad Museum. This is part of Balboa Park. Now, Balboa Park is a really interesting place to come to on its own. There's a botanical garden, there's a Japanese garden, the Spreckles Organ Pavilion where you can hear actual recitals. But one of the things that we came up here for was for the Railroad Museum. Now, this is a museum very much like the one we went to in Old Town. This one is reported to be one of the largest in the country, so we're going to check this one out and see what they've got here. Now this diorama here, this one has a replica of what looks to be the Union Station, which is on the waterfront in downtown San Diego. The trains in this section here seem to be of a larger scale, but I think this one is trying to more reproduce San Diego itself. Now over here we have engineers who actually look like they're arranging where the trains are going. So they're running the yard here right now. There's somebody on the other side who's giving a description. We'll see if we can get some of that over there too. The area behind me, or off to my side here, appears to be a kind of staging area where they're trying to stage the way trains move. It doesn't really look like there's a lot of landscaping. There's chairs, there's engineers over here. So I think maybe it's like kind of a practice run on how the trains are going to run. So I think at the Old Town Model Railroad Depot, they have a lot more interesting things going on, and they have a lot more detail as far as city goes and activities and city life goes in a smaller area. Here it's more spread out, but it just seems like wide open spaces, most likely in the San Diego environs of old times. The other interesting thing to note is as you walk through the place, there's railroad tracks that go through it. Over here we have a giant canyon. Now while it looks like Mount Rushmore over there with some heads on top of it, those are engineers trying to figure out where the trains are going to go. So I imagine if you stay here long enough, you're going to see a train pass over the trestle behind it. Okay, great news. I've just been told the train is about to round the bend in about 3 minutes, so we're going to catch that.
End of a very fancy
This area here is the La Mesa Model Railroad Club's 1950s era steam and diesel Bakersfield to Mojave via the Tehachapi Loop. This room is where the more fanciful railroad is, so this is where you're going to see a lot more models and a lot more city type things. Either way you go, San Diego is a great town for model railroading, whether you check the one out in Old Town or the one here at Balboa Park. Now, keep in mind, the one at Balboa Park charges admission, the one in Old Town does not. They're both fun, they're both really interesting places to check out, both for the Historic State Park in Old Town as well as the museums and the other things surrounding Balboa Park. So, if you get to San Diego, it's well worth a visit to both attractions. See if you can see them both. San Diego has a lot to offer, a very historic town. It's interesting, it's a great place to visit. Get out here and see you soon. Thanks for checking out Trippy Food. If you enjoyed watching that video half as much as I did making it, well then I enjoyed it twice as much as you did. And if that's the case, you'll probably like this video right here. And if not, check out this video right here. That one's a little bit different. Either way, leave a comment down below, and be sure to subscribe by clicking on the Trippy Food icon right here. Glad you could make it, and we hope to see you again soon.